One of the books I brought home from the library this week was Star Wars Knitting the Galaxy. This is the official Star Wars knitting pattern book, and I wonder how many friends I'm going to lose if I say I don't understand the Star Wars passion, but as a knitting book, this is phenomenal, which is why I'm doing a video about it. It has been so long since I got to pick out random knitting books at the library that I'll pick out anything, but I love this book. It has a stitched binding, it's got thick pages, it's got great photography. There is just so much about it as a knitting book before I even get into the projects, and the variety of projects is phenomenal. I think this book would make a great gift for a knitter who is into Star Wars, or a great resource for knitting things for the Star Wars fans in your lives. The photography is phenomenal, and there are multiple pictures of each object along with stills from the movie itself. And one of the things I love that, and I also love that it gives you ideas about how the different projects are constructed. So for Yoda, the head and body are knit in the round in one continuous piece using the magic loop method. The ears, limbs, and cane are also worked in the round for minimal finishing. His robe is worked flat back and forth with stitches bound off for the armholes, then picked up for the opening and knit form sleeves. Pearl marks are added for easy placement of his ears, eyes, and arms. So there is none of that plunging in and following the pattern blindly, hoping things will all work out. This gives you an idea of what you are going to be doing, and I really also like that sometimes you don't want to cast on an incredible number of stitches or do a specific technique, so you will be able to easily figure out what you are getting into before starting one of these projects. It also lists the yarn by weight in the supplies for each pattern, so that you will be able to easily make substitutions. These are all things that I love in any knitting book. And let's get on to the projects, because the variety in this is great, and these are fully fleshed out complex patterns. In so many of these themed knitting books, it seems like you get some kind of generic stuff with the right name slapped on it, and these have had a lot of thought. It's divided into sections. So let's start with toys. First up, we have the Porg. Even I know what the Porg are, although when I saw the one on the front, I did not recognize that for what it was. We have Porg, we have Pocket Yoda, who is absolutely adorable, and there's his full little self so you can see his robe and staff. There's Chewie. There is a Death Star, and I am just amazed by the construction of this thing. And also, this is one of the ones where I think that having a description of how it is constructed will make a huge difference to whoever is knitting it. We've got costume replicas, and I love that these have multiple photographs of the object as well as photographs of what it is supposed to be imitating from the movie. So we'll start with Luke Skywalker's flight vest, Princess Leia's Hoth snow vest, and there you can see her wearing it in the movie so that you know what you are knitting. Rey's vest and arm wraps, it gives you great glimpses of the details, which is another thing that makes me love this book. Padme's battle wrap, now we're on to inspired apparel. The Order of the Jedi pullover. There are a lot of different techniques in this book too, which is another thing that I think gives it a lot of usefulness. An Ewok hood, the Starfighter scarf. There are 28 different patterns in here. Lightsaber socks. I like that some of these are subtle. TIE Fighter hat and mittens. There's a lot of color work in some of these. The Millennium Falcon cowl. I will be shocked if Bendy Stitchy knows about this book and is not already knitting herself one of those. A Galaxy Far, Far Away mittens. Chancellor Palpatine scarf. General Leia Organa pullover. There's also behind the scenes trivia about the movies, or stories about the movies. Anakin's Infinity Cowl. This thing is like a coffee table book. Yoda mitts. The Rebel Alliance shawl. Here, there's a good look at the lace detail. R2-D2 mittens. The Wookiee socks. Aren't those just phenomenal? Like I said, these are well thought out and not quickie patterns just to slap a name on them. There's a Darth Vader pullover. Darth Maul mittens. A Clone Trooper hat. And now we're on to home decor, which is the last section. There's a BB-8 throw blanket. A droid throw pillow set. And the Villainous mini sweater ornaments. These are cool. This book doesn't have, it has a glossary. It has, of course, a list of abbreviations used, but it does not have basic knitting instructions. And I would much rather, with all of my knitting books, that they spent those pages giving me projects or something new and different that is not repeated in all of the other knitting books I already own. I would give this 5 stars, 10 out of 10 stars, however you want to rate your books. I think that, like I said, it would be a great gift for a knitter who loves Star Wars. It would be a great resource for knitting for the people in your life who love Star Wars. I don't think there's anything in here I am going to knit for myself, because even after rewatching all the movies with my boys, I just lack whatever bit of character lets you love this series. But I wanted to do a video on it because it is a really amazing book, and I think some of you might be interested in it if you haven't seen it already. Let me know if you saw something in here that you want to knit for yourself or for a gift. Check out my sewing room bookshelf. I'll put the link in the corner, and I'll be back with you soon. I'm Michelle. This is my Romantic Tangle.